Another Christmas rolled around and Bart was armed and waiting in the living room for Santa. He'd been asking for a dirt bike every year, but all he ever got was a pile of junky toys. So this time, he planned to confront Santa himself. Bart dozed off on the couch, and at midnight, a train bound for the North Pole pulled up right outside their house. He hopped aboard and was stunned as it soared over Springfield. When they arrived at the North Pole, Bart got off and ran into Mo, who was dressed like a goblin. Bart asked him how he could meet Santa. Mo explained that only senior elves had access to him, so Bart started at the very bottom, working with the rapping elves. He stole Milhouse and Nelson's work to get ahead, which impressed Mo enough to promote him straight to quality control. There, Bart repurposed defective teddy bears, earning Mo's praise again, and soon he was bumped up to Santa's corporate headquarters. Wearing a suit and carrying gifts, Bart finally went to see Santa, but Lisa, the company's vice president, stopped him at the door. Knowing exactly what Bart was after, she called in security to kick him out. The snowman guards showed up, but Bart simply cranked up the heat, melting them in seconds.
No disrespect, fat man, but you better poop out a dirt bike.
Looking around at how shabby Santa's whole operation really was, Bart gave up on his dream of getting a dirt bike.
Kids never change. Always dumb as potatoes.
He walked away, and right after he left, Santa's office transformed into something entirely different. Bart put on a tuxedo, wore a wig, and danced with the warden.
Martina, until I met you, I was the loneliest warden in the penal system.
Fresh.
Oh, down I go.
The next moment, Marge was arrested and thrown into the women's prison. Her cellmate was a burly, muscle-bound woman who took Marge to her very first prison meal. When Marge sighed that it felt nice not having to cook,
You mean your husband never cooked for you?
Marge suddenly remembered the first time Homer ever cooked, when he served up an entire live fish on a plate. Meanwhile, back home without Marge, Homer refused to cook. He told the kids that if they were hungry, they could just drink from the faucet or the toilet.
Who's gonna change Maggie?
We're gonna let it roam free in the backyard, and nature will take its course.
Lisa pointed out that even if they did everything themselves, could Homer at least keep the house clean? The very next scene, the Simpson house was a total wreck. The kids had no clean clothes. Homer was wearing Marge's wedding dress, and Bart's school lunch was nothing but a playing card smeared with peanut butter. With Marge locked away, not only was the Simpson household falling apart, but all of Springfield descended into chaos. The townspeople finally realized just how important Marge was to keeping Springfield together. When the day of her release finally came, Bart and Lisa decided to clean up the house to welcome her home.
Hey, what did...
Homer picked Marge up and brought her back. In front of the Simpson home, the entire town gathered to celebrate her return. They even unveiled a statue made just for Marge.
It's beautiful.
Homer was on his way to work with his co-workers when they noticed the warehouse door had been left open. Carl immediately suggested closing it, but Homer pressed his head against the door and convinced everyone to sneak inside and grab whatever they wanted. Homer loaded up his car with all sorts of stuff until he spotted Mr. Burns. In
Mr. Burns, save me, panic!
a panic, Homer sped off, causing a massive pileup behind him. Because of the chaos, Burns called a meeting to scold everyone for stealing. But somehow Homer got painted as the only one who didn't steal, which infuriated all his co-workers. Even when Bart took him fishing, Homer's co-workers were blasting him in the group chat, but Homer didn't care. The next morning, Homer woke up to discover he had wet the bed. Embarrassed, he carried the sheets to Marge.
Why? Are you going to do the laundry?
When it happened again, he bought a special gadget to stop it, but that night the device went off, and the kids learned the truth. Homer was a bedwetter. With no way to hide it, he admitted everything. While out for a walk, Marge ran into a scientist who claimed he could cure Homer's problem. The scientist took everyone into Homer's dreams to find the root cause. Inside, they discovered the issue was tied to his marriage. At one point, they fell off a cliff, and the scientist warned them that dying in a dream meant dying in real life. They kept leaping from one dream to another, until they reached the deepest level of Homer's subconscious. There, they realized his mother had always been living in his mind, and his bedwetting stemmed from falling into the water as a child during a boating accident. Once they uncovered the truth, the dream began collapsing. They escaped just in time. This time Homer woke up without wetting the bed.